The following presentation is rated R.
Is that going to fit everyone?
Yeah, easily. 12 customers total.
How do they turn a profit?
$12.50 a head, that's how.
What, are we eating a Rolex?
It's one of his classics. You have to try the mouthfeel of the mignonette.
Please don't say mouthful.
Tonight will be madness.
Welcome. We'll endeavor to make your evening as pleasant as possible.
Welcome to Hawthorne.
Here we are family. We harvest, we ferment, we gel.
They gel.
We gel.
He's not just a chef, he's a storyteller. The game is trying to guess what the overarching theme of the entire meal is going to be. You won't know till the end.
Who are you?
I am Margot. Why do you care?
I have to know if you're with us or with them. This menu,
The pictures, they're of us.
this guest list,
How did he get these?
It's not good.
this entire evening.
This is just theater, it's stagecraft.
We're leaving now. Has been painstakingly planned.
This is real, isn't it?
What the hell is going on?
We now offer you a 45-second head start. Okay, 45 seconds starts now. This is what you're paying for.
Get out of my way.
It's all part of the menu.
It's okay.
No, we're gonna die tonight.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to you.
You told him it was my birthday?
Seemed funny about 3 hours ago.
It's the 10th year of my movie month. 30 movies, 30 days. Movie month, 30 podcasts, 30 days. Movie month, 30 movies, 30 days, 30 podcasts. It's year 10.
I love reality cooking shows. I admit it. I watch Chopped, Master Chef. I watch a lot of the Gordon Ramsay, Hell's Kitchen. I like shows where they compete to. I like shows where they compete to make something. I can't just watch a reality show just to watch people. And whether it is they're competing on an island, they're competing in a race, or they're competing by making the best darn chicken plate they can make. I like watching it. I don't consider myself a quote-unquote foodie. I tried getting those subscription boxes where you make the food, and I hated it. It was too many steps. I like the idea of making food more than the idea of actually making food. I don't eat at fancy restaurants. I don't, I often watch these shows and I think, wow, they think that's really good. I wonder if my, unsophisticated palate would even enjoy that. Because, I have the appetite of a seventh grader, probably, But I would like to appreciate, well-made food and fresh ingredients and all that nonsense. But I wouldn't consider myself a foodie. the thing I like joking about with some of these food shows is on these shows they like cooking and making food. They make it seem like it is the most important thing in the world, and it is like, you must make this plate and you must give respect to the ingredients and all these things. And I'm like, yeah, okay, can I just heat up my frozen burrito? Well, and that's what I do. I heat up a frozen burrito and I watch, cooking on TV. And that brings me around to today's film. I watched the 2022, I want to say thriller. I don't want to say horror. Just a thriller, like a frightening thriller, The Menu, starring Ralph Fiennes, Anya Taylor-Joy, Nicholas Hoult, Samantha from Who's the Boss, Judith Light, her husband Reed Birney. I wouldn't know his name, but I'm reading it right now. Janet McTeer, who I think I know from the what the hell, the Jessica Jones, the Marvel show. Paul Adelson, who I've loved since Prison Break. Hong Chow, who I don't quite recognize. I don't know if I've seen her in anything. She's in The Whale. Well, then I don't think I have seen her in much. And I have the IMDb open in front of me right now. John Leguizamo as movie star, and I love that he said he based his character on Steven Seagal, which is wonderful. And Amy Carrero, not quite my last name, but and then a bunch of other people. This movie it looked weird, and it was weird in a wonderful way. Like it was, or not. I mean, you've all seen it, right? You're not listening to me unless you've seen it. The ending moments, I felt like I was watching an Ari Aster movie. If you've seen Hereditary or Midsommar, or I haven't seen the new one yet with Joaquin, but it had that kind of bonkers hopelessness that some of those movies have. Really what it is a group of people go to an island, to this fine dining restaurant, this very chic, very expensive, very hard to get into by this world-renowned, well-known chef. But then when they get there, it turns out that he's kind of been having a bad day, or maybe a bad month, because he is there to feed them and then kill them all, and including his entire staff. So it was really this. He's the leader of a cult, which maybe that's saying something about, chefs in general, yes, chef, no chef, and all that kind of, stuff they're a judge. You put on the chef coat. Oh, it's the white chef coat. On Hell's Kitchen, they go, oh my goodness, it's a white chef coat. I earned this. And I was like, did you get a degree in chefery? Did I miss something? I mean, I guess you do get degrees at the Culinary Institute and the Cordon Bleu and all that stuff. But it's a little, there's a pretentiousness to it, at least to me, that was really put forth in this movie by Nicholas Hoult. So he is there. He is the super fanboy. He is the foodie. He is a complete. He's a psychopath when you learn what the truth is. And he's there with Anya Taylor-Joy, his date. They go to the island. So there's them. There's John Leguizamo with his assistant Felicity, who it seems like they're a little more than assistants. There's Judith Light and her husband, and he kind of recognizes Anya Taylor-Joy for some reason, or he definitely recognizes her for a specific reason. Then there is, and they come to the restaurant a lot. Janet McTeer and Paul Adelson, he works for a magazine. She writes reviews for restaurants. And then there's Bryce, Soren, and Dave. They are three business bros who are there to spend money because they have money. I recognized two of them. I didn't recognize. I recognized. There were three guys. There was Arturo Castro, so a Guatemalan actor. There was an African-American actor and there was an Asian-American actor who I've seen in, I think, Succession. Yes, I've definitely seen him in Succession and other things. And then Arturo, I don't know why I know him, but I've seen his face right away. And I'm going to quickly go through IMDb, and I'm going to say I know him because of... Really? I don't see anything yet on his IMDb that tells me that I've seen him in things. Oh, Silicon Valley. Yep, that's actually probably where I saw him, Silicon Valley, which was a really good show. So they're like the hedge fund business guys or whatever. Then you have staff. Then you have this older woman who turns out to be the chef's mother. And what we come to find out slowly but surely is that everyone's dying tonight, including the staff. It gets weird, and then all of a sudden they go, now we're going to do a course. The movie was segmented in quote unquote courses, and each course had a little card that showed on the screen. And one of the courses was like man's mess or something. And they lay it on a carpet, and I was like, "Oh God!" And they put all these like dried plants or something on the ground. And this one of the sous chefs blew his brains out right there. And they're like, "It's all part of the show. It's all part." Like people didn't believe it. People were starting to freak out, but didn't quite freak out. It was very weird. And you know, I was wondering, how did this guy get them to be in his cult? Basically, to get all these chefs to go along with this. One of the chefs even said she had the idea of everyone dying. Now, at the very end, not to jump ahead, but at the very end, it seemed like the people who were freaking out were going along with it almost. Like they looked like they were saying thank you, and they were nodding. And it was almost like he turned them as well. Like they're now part of a masterpiece. I don't know. So everyone's freaking out. We find out that the husband and wife, the husband actually, Anya Taylor-Joy is actually an escort who was hired by Nicholas Holt's character to go with someone. There was going to be someone else, and then he didn't want to go alone, so he hired this escort. Now, I don't know if the first person was an escort or if it was broken up. He said they broke up. And even Ray Fiennes was like, that's not the person who you were going to bring. Like, it screwed up everything, I guess, because he has everything planned out. And he knows everyone who's going to be there. And all of a sudden, this person shows up who, she says her name is Margot from Nebraska, but we find out her name is Erin, and she's from Brockton, Mass. But she pretends to be someone named Margot. And he's like, you know, the chef goes to Nicholas Holt's character, and you find out that he knew this was all going to happen. He wanted to be part of this, so he's already in the cult. It seemed like, and he wanted to be a part of this. But he is such a fanboy to the chef that they're like, why don't you know how to cook, and you've earned your chef's coat, and here you learn how to cook. And he cooks something, and he's like Ray Fiennes, Chef Slowick, calls it shit, and he whispers something into Nicholas Holt's ear, and you see him crying, and he leaves the room. And next thing, like later, Anya Taylor goes by and you see his body hanging. So he hung himself. So it's like, this dude is so persuasive. It turns out he's pretty much persuasive with everybody except Margot. And she turns the table on him later. But like she tries to get out. She finds, it was weird. They found a house and it was the exact same layout as the restaurant. So it's all, I mean, my first thought was, do they kill a lot? And do they switch back and forth? But that had a bed in it, so maybe not. I thought, okay, while they're cleaning that one up, let's get the next group in here and go to the other restaurant and call this the house. I don't know. So she tries to escape. Now, Hong Chau played Elsa, who was actually one of the best parts of this movie. She just played this, like, the second in command to Chef Slowick. And she directed them wherever she went. She never, like, she was so calm and creepy. And she ends up getting killed by Anya because they got a big fight. But there's a moment where they're like, we've made you tortillas with 3D printing technology. And each tortilla has like some sort of like thing to expose them. Like, it shows the guy cheating. It shows the hedge fund guys with like fake receipts or something, money doesn't add up. it shows the actor. Now, that was the craziest part is this is how crazy Chef Slowik is. John Leguizamo was invited there because Chef Slowik was having a pretty good day, and then he went to see one of his terrible movies, and it ruined his day, and I guess he blames him for it. So that's why he was there. The reviewer, they showed reviews of restaurants, all restaurants that her reviews closed. And I forget what they showed for Nicholas. Oh, they showed him taking pictures of the photos because he couldn't follow directions. But why would he take pictures if he knew he was going to die that night? I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe it was all part of his cover. So eventually she gets, Anya Taylor gets to this other house. She kills the woman. She calls on the radio for someone to help. The Coast Guard shows up. Or you think the Coast Guard shows up. It turns out he just pretends to be the Coast Guard. He's like, can I have your autograph? He probably wants to see what John Leguizamo would do. He wrote, help us. And then the guy's like, nobody move. But he takes out his gun and it's just a lighter because he's part of the group. Everyone's part of the group. So the tables get turned when Anya's just like, first he's like, you're one of us. You should be part of us. You can die with them or you can die with us. Like that's some sort of wonderful, like gift. And then later he's like, you're nothing like us. Because you're just an eater, just like everyone else. But it made her cry a little bit. And then she had this idea where she saw in his living quarters, there was like all this. It was weird when you saw the way the staff lived. You had to think to yourself, okay, this is a cult, right? They all live in these cots all together. This is a cult. A cult of really good chefs that make like really pretentious food. Oh, can I have more foam on a crisp with some snow, with some emulsions, blah, blah, blah. She sees all these photos, but one photo she sees that he kept is from when it was like 1987. He was working at like a fast food restaurant, Hamburger Heaven or something, making a cheap, just a greasy cheeseburger with a huge smile on his face. Like he was the happiest he'd ever been. And she claps her hands. Everyone comes to, and she's like, look, I wasn't happy with what I had tonight, with what you served. I'd like to send it back. And you could see that, the guy's a psychopath, and this still mattered to him. Like it wasn't a game to him. It was still like, no, the food and the menu is the most important thing. This means everything to me. So she's like, I want to send it back. But I'm still hungry. He's like, what do you mean you're still hungry? She goes, I'm still hungry. Well, what would you like? A cheeseburger. And you can see the little glimmer of hope, like a glimmer of light in his eye. Just a greasy old cheeseburger. And he makes this cheeseburger. It was a double cheeseburger on a sesame seed bun with these little crinkle fries. And it looked good. And you could see while he's doing that, it was like all the pain went away. And he had his little glimmer of hope, little smile on his face. And I'm wondering if that's when he realized, like, she won. For a lot of this time, I'm still thinking, is this a giant game? Is this a giant, like, remember the game with Michael Douglas where you find out the whole friggin' thing was fake? Is this a giant, is Nicholas Holt's going to walk out? Is the guy who shot himself going to walk out? And then she realizes she killed the Asian woman, but they did fight. So I was like, maybe it can't be a game. Something's got to give. No, not really. It was everything he said was going to happen, except because she got the hamburger. She's like, you know what? I can't eat it. My eyes are bigger than my stomach. And she's like, I'd like to take it to go. And he's like, okay. It was almost like, you've done this. There's nothing. He's like, what are you going to do? Call the cops? There's nothing you can do. You weren't part of this. Like, everybody else was there. Well, I guess the assistant wasn't really part of it, but like the husband and wife, they were there because they never, they've been eating there for all these times. They couldn't name one thing they've eaten there, and that just bothered him. Like everything I did, and there's no memory of it. Like that alone was enough to kill them. But Nicholas Holt, he was part of it. Maybe his girlfriend was part of it, or something specific with his girlfriend, but the fact that she was brought in at the last second as an escort, really, just to be there, told me that she wasn't a part of this plan in the first place. And maybe because she did something so bold as to stand up to him, remind him of what he liked, like it was enough for him to... Okay, I got a stupid phone call I had to answer quickly, and I think I lost where I was. I was saying, I think she didn't she wasn't part of the plan, so that's why she was able to. He like allowed her to leave. Like he like respected the fact that, oh, you outsmarted me, and I will allow you to leave. And he lets her go, and she gets away. I mean, she just leaves. She gets away. She gets in a boat. She gets pretty far. And while he's like, you know what? Even though you're gone, I got some more people here I can deal with. There's still some more people here. And then he proceeds to, or the staff proceeds to shovel all kinds of graham cracker around them, but in a fancy way, deconstructed way, all kinds of chocolate and other maybe various sauces of sort. And then they put everyone in marshmallow vests and put little chocolate hats on their head. And that's where I was like, okay, I'm watching some Ari Aster shit right here. And he's like, the s'more, the absolute worst in everything that food has to offer. And yet people find it with innocence. Blah, blah. He gives this long speech. He goes over, he goes, but the one thing that brings it together is fire. He grabs the hot coal with his bare hands. That alone, I was like, Jesus Christ. Walks into the middle, throws it down. Obviously, there was something else, I think, in that graham cracker, because boom, he gets lit up. He gives the speech, and everyone's, at some point, people are like mouthing it with him and saying, thank you, yes. That's where I was like, he's turned them all. They're all like obsessed. And they're all like part of the cult. It's almost like they didn't mind dying. And then they all died. Everyone burnt up and they was dead. And meanwhile, Margot / Erin is on the boat. Looks like it's stalled, but she's finished. She kind of sits there, opens her hamburger, finishes it. And I love that she takes the menu, looks at it, and just like, wipes her mouth with it, uses it as a napkin. Like, who cares about this pretentious shit? I loved that. That was a very like cool moment for her. And then the movie ended. It was just like, it was such an odd tale told really only over a few hours. The dinner. It was literally brought through the menu. And then I liked the when it said like s'mores, graham cracker, chocolate, marshmallow, staff, chef, guests, like everyone gets killed in there. There was a weird thing where he tells these pretentious stories. I say pretentious a lot, but because, I mean, come on, it's a little much. It's like, this next is a beef with a fork, with a scissors in it because I stabbed my dad with the scissors. Like, it was creepy. And some of the food looked good. Some of it, I guess. I don't even remember what the main course was. The best thing there for me was that cheeseburger. Delicious. But just to talk about the acting, great across the board. I forgot, there was the 3 hedge fund guys work for a man who owns the island, owns the buildings, and they're like, you can't do this to us. We work for this guy, and basically that means you work for us. He's like, oh, no. And he showed, we saw earlier someone walking with wings, like made angel wings. And they show, they have this guy, and he's the guy that the 3 hedge fund guys, I call them hedge fund guys, I don't know, investment guys work for. He's the guy who funded everything. He's the quote-unquote angel investor. So they string him up over the water in the angel wings, and then he lowers them slowly. He's like, shh, listen. That is the sound of freedom. Obviously, he just murdered a guy, but he knows what's going to be happening that night, so it really doesn't matter to him. So he kills this guy by dropping him in the ocean and drowning him. Or, yeah, it was the ocean, right? I think. So Ray Fiennes was phenomenal in this. Like, the small facial expressions where you think he's going to snap, where you think he's happy, where you think he's mad, like, incredible. Nicholas Hoult played the perfect, like, food-obsessed creep, and then you realize you think he's just a pricky boyfriend, because he starts calling her a child and being like, shush, I'm trying to listen. And then you realize he's just a monster who took this escort with him because he did not want to be alone. No one else there, I felt like, was all that, like, no one was terrible. A bad reviewer. Okay. That happens. This guy, so it turns out the husband hired the escort it was a little creepy because they said, Judith Light's like, that kind of looks like our daughter. It's like, no, like obviously their daughter died. And she said, I believe she said she pays him to talk to him while he plays with himself, right? And then mentioned something about the daughter. And I thought, wait a second. So I'm thinking now, is this dude like did he, you know what I'm saying? Right. Did he touch his daughter inappropriately? Is that what that's getting at? Because if so, that guy deserves everything that happens to him. I don't know. I'm making that leap, but I thought I made some weird connection there that he was hiring this escort and doing things to himself, and there was the daughter connection that was a little weird. He gets his finger cut off at one point, and you feel bad, but then you're like, wait a second. And I don't remember why I know this guy. I've seen him in things. I've seen him in a bunch of things. And I feel like sometimes he's a dad or a teacher, but I can't make the connection. Judith Light, obviously, Who's the Boss Forever. She's made, like, she did that sitcom. Then I feel like I didn't see her for a while. But then in the last, like, decade, she's done a lot of, like, prestigious TV shows and stuff. And this, like, she's, like, shown that she's not just Angela. Hey, I'm not just Angela Bauer. Did she become Angela Maselli when they got married? I don't remember. But like there was nothing. She didn't do anything. But she was like, yes, kill me at the end. The hedge fund guys, okay, seemed like they were stealing money, maybe. So that was not good, but not awful. Then there's the actor who just, he's kind of, seems like he cheats on his wife with this assistant who's trying to leave. And he made some bad movies, and he's trying to start doing reality shows, but he doesn't even barely pays attention and preps for that. That's what I got out of it. Just kind of like just kind of a over the hill actor who's kind of a douche, but not a monster. Nobody there was a monster unless it was, except for Nicholas Hoult, who definitely was, because he knew this was going to happen, and possibly Judith Light's husband. And that's just based on my, guesstimation. And then like, what's up with the staff? Like the one staff, she's like, he tried to bang me. And she said worse. The chef, and he tried again. And then, he finally stopped, and he's like, I'm truly sorry. And then she stabbed him. I thought she stabbed him right in the dick. I thought, well, you know what? Everyone's going to die tonight. Why not? But she didn't. She stabbed him in the leg as like a penance for him. And he's like, all right, we'll give every man here 45 seconds. I don't even understand that. And then the women go back inside. Like, I didn't quite understand the point of that, except maybe to see who will go. And Nicholas Hoult stayed at first. But did he, I forget if we knew that he knew by that point. I don't remember. Oh, excuse me. I'm yawning, and yet it is, 2:55 p.m. I took a late lunch, and I finished the movie, and I'm talking about it now. I'm not sure what else to talk about, except I just like the structure, how it was done in courses. I liked the wackiness of it, like the bonkers. Like, this was just a guy who is so hyper, like, takes his job, his role, his passion so seriously. And it looks like he had sort of a rough upbringing, and he is a little mentally unstable, I want to say, to the point where he brought all these people to this island and like must have built them up so well that they would do anything for him, and including kill themselves. Like, or like, did he have some sort of brainwashing magic power? Like, he has some sort of like power of, not like real power, but just this like, what's the word I'm thinking of, where he can just, say something and you'll believe it. Like, so many times he did get people to calm down. He, persuasion, like he's so persuasive that he whispers something to Nicholas Hoult, who kills himself. He gets the guy to shoot himself in the head. Like, all these things. But then the woman, they said to the woman cook, the female cook who said that Chef Slowick, tried to, have his way with her, or wanted to have his way with her. They're like, I'm sorry you had to go through that. And she goes, oh, that's all right. She goes, actually, or she says, whatever she said, she goes, the killing was my idea. Everyone dying was my idea. So you realize they're all kind of, And it should. I feel like I wonder if there are clues at the beginning. That staff quarters right there. That should be your clue. Like, wait, you're all in these white cots, like half a foot from each other, in this weird hangar. You're in a cult. Right away, that should have been like, they're in a cult. I wonder if Hawthorne has anything to do with Hawthorne. Nathaniel Hawthorne? House of Seven Gables? I don't know. But the name, Alvin Slowick, is there something with that? I don't know. There wasn't a ton in the IMDb trivia, but definitely it turns out that all these people who went to this restaurant are part of this cult. Nicholas Hoult put on a white jacket to make something, but it's almost like he was trying to get into the cult. I wonder if this was, no, why would you get into the cult if you know they're just going to die that day? I don't know. But somehow he already knew what was going to happen. I was waiting for some connection where they knew each other, the chef and Anya Taylor-Joy. I was waiting for some other connection. There wasn't. It was just some sort of weird, like, she persuaded him to let her go. And when she goes to leave, you think, like, she's like, should I leave? And Judith Light, maybe she's already obsessed. Maybe she's already turned. Because, again, she's like, yes. They're not freaking out. It's like they're almost accepting it at the end. But she gives one little look to Margot, and she's like, it's almost like, it's okay. You go. Get out. But was it really, it's okay. You're not supposed to be part of this. You go. But 90% of the time, Judith Light's crying. When the Coast Guard guys there, they're all freaking out. At some point, I feel like, though, they accepted it. It seemed like they didn't get up and try to fight. I mean, there were all these guys standing around with knives, but you figured someone would try. At least something, Try to kick to the face. Hi-ya! And then friggin', like, Judith Light's husband, throw him at them. Get John Leguizamo. Do you just do action movies? Do some karate? I don't know. Anything that, because your hands are tied with the marshmallow, so use your feet. Something. But they didn't. They just waited while he walked over with the fire. They all watched him, and he did it. I want to watch this again. I watched it on Max. Yes, I said it. I remembered it. Max. I don't know if this is my first Max or not. It might not be. It's weird saying Max. I want to say HBO Now, HBO Go, HBO Max. And then someday it'll be Cinemax. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. It is just escapism, bonkers, weird. If you want to be kind of unnerved a bit, and then like cover your face a little bit, a couple of chuckles, and just outstanding acting, then boom. The menu should be on your menu for eating a movie. I don't even know what that means. But I'm done now. So listen, you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and mastodon.social. I don't even know why I keep saying that last one, but I'm going to keep saying it, I guess, for a little while. Or this is the last time. I might have given up. I don't know. But you can find me everywhere on social media at Geek Mentality. The Facebook page is a little different. It's facebook.com/fansnotexperts. That's because the website is fansnotexperts.com. You can find every link to every Movie Month movie ever made. All right? There's been podcasts going back to 2016, blog posts 2015, 2014. And, yeah, this is, as you say, 2014. Yeah, that's year 10, buddy. 10 years of Movie Month. I kind of mumbled, almost like I was. Oh, that's what I bought. That one thing that annoyed me was when the wine guy came up with wine. I really don't give a shit about wine. It's like, this is in 2014 Gabos Lava blog. It's got nutty overtones of chocolate, and you can kind of taste the rainbow in it a little bit. And I'm like, I don't care about that stuff. It all tastes like wine to me. It all either makes you go, or, no, not bad. But I don't give a crap about it. And I don't even, I think I might have a bottle of wine somewhere in my fridge. It might be in my fridge. I don't even know. I don't care about it. So that when I listen to them talk about that stuff and swirl the glass, and yeah, I don't, that ain't me. Give me a Fresca or if I want to have a good alcoholic drink, give me a Bud Light Lime, baby. That's it, my friends. Listen, I'm done. I got to get back to work. So, listen, you can find me, as I said, Geek Mentality, Twitter, Instagram, all that fun stuff. Fansnotexperts.com, yada, yada, yada. This is movie number 6. Number 6. Wow. Tomorrow means we've done our first week. Whew. I don't even know what I'm going to do tomorrow. I have a few ideas, but I knew this one was going to be today as of yesterday, I decided. But I haven't decided on what tomorrow is yet. So tomorrow. I love you. Tomorrow's another movie away. But until then, my friends, thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing. And here is my theme song. This is my podcast. I made it. Geek Mentality's what I named it. And I think you should listen and subscribe. 'Cause I'm kinda funny and awesome. I think that I'm worth your time. And I'm kinda handsome. My mom says, please listen and please subscribe. At least listen to this episode. Fans not experts.